I thought that as long as I tried hard enough, my family would be proud of me, until I found out they used my college fund to open a jewelry shop for my sister. My name is Ethan Miller, 23 years old, and I used to believe that if I worked hard enough, I'd be seen, that my family, no matter how biased they were, would eventually recognize my worth. But as it turned out, some things were decided long ago, and the day I graduated college was the moment that woke me up completely. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, a place where everything moves fast, bustling but also full of coldness. My family wasn't rich, but we got by. My dad was an accountant for a small company in Manhattan, and my mom was a nurse at a nearby hospital. But the real star of the family was Emma, my younger sister, 2 years my junior. From a young age, I grew used to hearing, "Let your sister have it, you're the older brother." Over time, I ended up giving up not just things but attention, affection, and even the things I deserved. Emma was always the center of attention. Her birthdays were neighborhood events. I still remember when Emma turned 10, my parents rented out an entire movie theater just to show her favorite animated film. And me? On my 18th birthday, I got a store-bought cake and the usual line. "You're a grown boy now, keep it simple." I didn't resent them, really. I told myself that if I worked hard enough, one day they'd see I was worth being proud of. Throughout 4 years of college, I didn't just study hard, I worked every job I could, from waiting tables at a coffee shop to being an office assistant. I covered my tuition, rent, and even sent money home when my parents complained about utility bills. I thought that the day I graduated, becoming the first in our family to walk out of a university's gates, would be the moment my family gave me a bit of recognition. I didn't need a fancy party, just their presence, a smile, and maybe a word of pride. But life isn't a dream. On the morning of my graduation, while Lucas, my best friend, and his parents were getting ready to attend the ceremony, I got a single text from my mom. "Congrats, come home for dinner tonight." I stood on the stage receiving my diploma, camera flashes going off, and I looked down at the audience. Not a single member of my family was there. I forced a smile through the ceremony, telling myself, "They're probably busy, there's probably a reason," but deep down, I knew I'd just taken a direct hit to my self-esteem. When I got home, I hoped for at least a warm family dinner, but what greeted me was the usual scene: Emma lounging on the couch, scrolling through her phone, Dad glued to financial news, and Mom walking out with a box of cold pizza. "Congrats on graduating, Ethan," Mom said, as if the pizza was some grand gift. I looked around. No balloons, no card, not even a proper congratulations. Emma tossed out a sarcastic remark. "You're lucky Dad almost got you fast food instead." Seeing my silence, Mom grabbed a bottle of ketchup and scribbled "congrats" on a plastic plate, adding a lopsided heart. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I took a selfie, posted it to my story with the caption, "Dream big, kids." Then I stood up, saying I needed to get some air. But I didn't go for a walk. I drove straight to a cheap motel near the Brooklyn Bridge, using the emergency card my grandparents gave me back in high school. Sitting on the stiff motel bed, I faced the truth for the first time. I had never truly mattered in this family. For the next 3 days, I cut off all contact. My phone buzzed constantly with messages, some worried, some accusatory, some mocking. "Whoa, you're throwing a fit over pizza," Emma texted. Dad called me immature, while Mom tried to pull me back with the usual, "We're family, come home and talk." But I was too exhausted to keep going in this cycle. I started applying for jobs everywhere. I needed to leave New York, a place filled with memories of being overlooked. While packing my things, I found a locked drawer Mom always forbade me from touching. Instinct told me to check it. When I opened it, I froze. A bank statement for the college fund in my name had been closed 3 years ago. The money had been transferred to Emma's account to open her handmade jewelry shop, the one they always praised as their young entrepreneur's startup. I thought we were struggling, which is why I had to fend for myself, but it turns out they had made their choice long ago, and it wasn't me. I didn't cry, I just felt empty. That night, I wrote an email attaching all the evidence and sent it to my entire family and relatives. Subject: why I'm not coming to Emma's birthday. And I left. Chicago welcomed me with a biting early winter wind and a new job at a mid-size marketing firm. I rented a creaky old apartment with wooden floors that squeaked, but I'd never felt such peace. I cut off all contact with my family. They tried to reach out, justify themselves, blame me, but I didn't care anymore. Lucas and his family gave me the sense of belonging I'd always searched for. For the first time, I had a Thanksgiving dinner where I didn't have to bow my head to comparisons or lectures. As time passed, I started to find myself again. I joined a book club, made new friends, and even began a relationship with Alyssa, a girl with a warm smile and eyes that made me feel truly seen. Nearly 2 years later, I received Emma's wedding invitation. No note, no outreach, just a cold card with the words, "Family is forever." I laughed. I called my grandma, the only person in my family who never turned her back on me. We talked for hours, and I invited her to visit me in Chicago. On the day Emma walked down the aisle, I took Grandma for a walk around Lake Michigan, ate Chicago-style pizza, and sipped hot cocoa. I posted a photo of us with the caption, "Real family is the ones who value you." When Emma announced her pregnancy on social media with a glittery confetti cannon and my parents beaming in their world's best grandparents' shirts, I scrolled past without feeling a thing. Not because I'm cold, but because I'd let go. They have their world where I never truly existed, and I have my own life, small, simple, but full of truth. I didn't just walk away from a birthday party, I walked away from a family that was no longer a family in the true sense. And for me, that was freedom.